Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and I am back with Reggie.
How's it going?
No, that's not right. It's been a while.
One more time.
Okay. Oh, gee.
Well, what happened, man?
I guess we are back. Time for some pickups. I just didn't know what to say there. It's been so long.
I know, right?
All right, let's take a look. All right, dude, it's been quite a year, and it's been way too long since you've been in this game room. It's been since February of 2020. Can you believe that?
I know. Time goes by so fast, man. It's like,
I know.
Seriously.
I know. I definitely missed you in this room. What have you been up to?
Man, basically just doing the YouTube thing and preparing some other things, keeping busy, trying to stay safe and all that stuff. Just kind of just staying busy with just stuff like that,
Yeah.
It seems like it's not that long, but then time goes by so fast, and next thing you know, like, whoa, okay, what's going on?
I know.
But not really much.
Well, we have a bunch of pickups to show you in this. I think we've each got 15 or so.
15 each, just like we usually do. And Jason, who goes first?
Well, you are the guest, so why don't you go first? And I haven't seen what he brought, and he hasn't seen what I brought, so this is going to be interesting. So.
All right, so
curious what you've been up to for the last year.
Where'd it go here? I always got to start off with this game. I got a new version of it.
Nice.
Xeno Crisis for Vita. I love this game.
Yep.
I want it for every system. And
you beat that game, right?
I did. I got the bad ending though. And to get the good ending, you got to play the game proper by not continuing. It's rough, but it can be done.
Yeah.
I just got to get better at it, but. This game is just so well done, and I'm so happy it got created because they did a Kickstarter for this, and they made way more than they wanted on it, so they were able to do a lot more things with this.
Yeah, it's shown up on a bunch of systems now, and whether it's old or new or whatever, so it's cool to see that it just, no matter where you want to play it, you get to play it. So it's an awesome game. I don't know if I have the Vita version. So the
Vita version is probably the rarest one to get because I think East Asia Soft did it, and they did a really limited run on it. But still. Very good game. Definitely a must-have. Easy to access. You get it on PS4, Switch.
Yeah.
Download it for Vita if you can't get the physical version.
You and I did a Let's Play.
We did.
A long time ago.
That's right, yeah. We barely got past the first level, I think. It was fun.
All right, for me, I'm going to stick with Vita as well. I didn't plan this. Another East Asia Soft release as well. Although I picked this one up at Pink Gorilla. I just walked in there and happened to be there. Brand new. Yeah, so it's Demon's Tier Plus, the limited edition of this. Again, another brand new Vita game. This is I haven't played a ton of it yet, but I believe it's kind of like a roguelike twin stick shooter, based game. Have you played this at all?
I have it, but I have not played it yet. It looks pretty good, man. I just, so
many games, a little time.
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't got to it yet, but
I love that box too. Like it's embossed in there, so they always do good work on these.
It's always cool to kind of just randomly go to the store and find something like that. Like, whoa, what is this? So.
Yeah, I know. I was exactly in this Demon's Tier. So be curious to know in the comments if you played it and you like it, because I'm probably showing you gameplay footage right now, but I haven't played it that much yet. So
okay,
yeah.
That cover is sick, though.
It is, isn't it?
All right, next game here is Monstrum for the PS4, also available for the Switch. Now, basically, this is a horror game. At least I feel like it's a horror game. If you guys play games like Dead by Daylight, where you pretty much play as 4 survivors going against a killer, well, this game is kind of like if that game was offline. So basically, you play as a person. You're always in a random map, so the map is always different, and there's a killer stalking you, trying to kill you. Now, there's 3 killers that I know of, and you never know who the killer is until you see them. So you have to be very quiet going down the corridors of this ship that you're in, and there's these cameras, and if the cameras see you, they alert the monster to where you're at. Now, you can alert the monster and then hide to see who it is, but you gotta get good at it. Each monster stalks you differently, and it's pretty scary. I mean, it's like that one on the cover. He's the one that just comes at you hardcore. Other ones like tactically, kind of just stalk you and just get you at the right moment. It's pretty trippy. So
I have never heard of this game.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. It really came out of nowhere, and it's definitely something that I think people should try out. So,
okay. You're back, and you're already showing me games I haven't seen before. So this is great. This is great. All right. Next up for me, probably a game you have heard of before. I got a PlayStation 5.
Wow.
Everyone's telling me Demon's Souls. You know, over the years, everyone's asked me if I played the Demon's Souls or, you know, the Souls series, and the answer is always no. Primarily because I know that my tolerance for really, really difficult games like that, I've got so much other stuff. I just don't know if I can dedicate the time to learn. So, but that said, I was like, okay, I got a new console. There's a new version of Demon's Souls. Let's pick it up. It's gorgeous, and I'm not getting very far yet.
Yeah. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get into. You know what's crazy? The original game on the PS3, they still play it online. They have like a fan server for it that you have to like change like some settings on your PS3 to access, and people are still hardcore playing the PS3 version.
You know, it's cool because, and you obviously if you play this game, you know that you know, when people die, or I'm not sure how it is, but basically you can leave notes on the level. And I find those incredibly helpful. If it says, "Hey, by the way, you turn this corner, and you're going to need to to prepare yourself," or like this, one of them is like, "You're get ready to start doing some rolling, you know, some dodging and stuff like that." So, not very far in the game, as you guys can tell by the footage here, but I'm excited to play it more on the new system. So, yeah,
very cool, man. All right, people like racing games. Hopefully, you guys do. I know you do.
I do.
This game is very similar to Outrun. This is Midnight Run by Konami for PlayStation. So pretty much when I played this game, it's an arcade racing game.
Okay.
It's like Outrun, but it's like racing at night.
And that's the PAL version there or something,
This is the PAL version, but you get the Japanese version as well. Either one. I mean, there's English in both of them.
Never
so
heard
you
of
don't
this
really
either.
need to have too many options. But it's a really fun game if you like games like Outrun. The racing is fun. I like that it's at nighttime. The music, and you have I guess it's like your girlfriend in the car with you, and she's like kind of like telling you stuff like turn here and stuff like that. It's pretty hilarious. It's like really like intense and everything.
Is she kind of calling it out almost like a rally game where she's like, hard right, hard left, stuff like that?
Kind of like that, yeah, I would say. Not extreme like the girlfriend in heart attack mode on Outrun, like beating on you.
Who beats on you, or gives you hearts,
But it was a totally hidden game. I found that by chance, and I couldn't believe I didn't know about it. So,
Konami too.
By Konami, yeah. The game didn't do well in arcades, but they ported it to PlayStation early in the life cycle, and I guess it still didn't do well. So they kind of like just abandoned the franchise. But I think it's a solid game.
Okay, all right. Next up for me, I'm going to stick with the PlayStation 5 because that's what I'm playing right now.
Oh,
including
man.
Returnal. So now you don't have a PS5 yet, correct? As of the making of this video. So this is one of the exclusives, I believe. It might be on PC, I'm not sure. This is by House Mark. In the past I've mispronounced their name as Marquis, but it's Mark. They do Nex Machina, they do Alienation, a bunch of twin stick shooters.
Alienation, okay.
Yeah. So this is a twin, or not a twin stick shooter. It's a third person shooter. It's roguelike in that every time you die, the level is sort of randomized, procedurally generated. Notoriously difficult game, and so far, actually, it's pretty cool. So you basically are an astronaut that goes down on this planet. You crash land on it. And the weird thing is, in your first playthrough, you find yourself dead. So she walks up to a dead person on the ground and realizes she's already been there. And this is how many lives that she's kind of in this cycle. So every time you die, you come back, same spot. And you're trying to kind of like learn the story, but also upgrade your character and weapons and things like that. The thing about this game, though, is that it doesn't have quick saves, which means that it doesn't let you save all the time. Now, as of the making of this video, there isn't the patch yet to give people that version. So I'm kind of holding back a little bit on this game because, I play a lot of things on the PlayStation 5. I can't just dedicate it to just one game.
Right.
So that's kind of been a little bit of a criticism of this, is that, for instance, you could put the PlayStation 5 in sleep mode or rest mode and then get a system update and lose all your progress, which sucks. Or, like in people who have multiple people in the house, you want to play Returnal for a while, save your game, and then let your kids play. You can't do that.
That's annoying. They need to fix that immediately.
Yeah, so I guess there's a patch coming. I mean, some people are into that. That's a little bit more hardcore than I think for me. Personally, I'd like to be able to save it every once in a while, do a quick save here and there. So, but so far the game is beautiful. It seems like it's pretty interesting, so I can't wait to figure out what the story is all about, why she's stuck in this loop.
Okay.
Yeah.
interesting. Eventually, when I get a PS5, I may look at that one.
Yeah. And you're not in any hurry to get one, I assume.
No.
I know, with the backlog, it's like, actually, to be honest, like, it's really nice that the PlayStation 5 plays PlayStation 4 games.
Yeah, that's a good feature with it. I'm just thinking that they're going to come out with a Pro soon.
Yeah.
Not soon. It could be a couple years, but I'm just willing to wait because I don't want to, like, slog on about it, but I just feel like I could wait for the system.
When you haven't played it, later after this video, I do want you to play the Astrobot game because that'll show you why the controller is so cool. All so right. It won't make you want to necessarily buy one, but it is pretty cool.
Right on. Next game, you've probably seen this game before.
Played and beat it, yes.
This would have been on a pickups video we did last year.
Yeah.
The whole thing didn't happen with COVID, but this is Resident Evil 3, the remake, and I wanted to show this one because I was looking forward to this game ever since they announced it, and dang, dude, I was really pumped up to talk about this one, but then I was like, this.
You didn't like it? I liked it.
I felt it was half measures. I felt they could have did a better job with it. I mean, the thing about the game, I do like it, but I'll choose the original over this any day because of the options in the original. But this one's kind of fun, but just not as good as the original, unfortunately. Now, I do like the parts where you meet Nemesis. I just wish that they weren't all scripted. You want them to kind of surprise you. In the original game, Nemesis would come out of nowhere and attack you if you were standing around too long, or just like it was terrifying.
Well, that's gonna take me to the next game I talk about.
But anyways, Resident Evil 3, I think it's a solid, fun game, just like for a little while. It's not that long. It's more action oriented.
It is pretty short.
So there's that. But I definitely choose the original. But
well, then I'm going to be really curious to talk to you about Resident Evil 8 Village.
Okay.
So you did play this, right?
I actually played it on PC and beat it.
Okay. And so a couple things about this. So one, you mentioned the fact that, randomly stalking you. Well, this is a game that definitely Mistress D or whatever, I forget what her name is. Lady D.
Demetrius, I can't remember her name.
She stalks you around her mansion. And actually, I found that to be really fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's so stressful. But it also reminded me that I actually prefer the third-person Resident Evil games than the first-person.
Me too.
I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's maybe that these are a little bit too stressful or something about them, but...
well, okay, so I did like the game, but I don't really feel like it's a true Resident Evil game. And I'm not trying to go all into it. I did like the part in the beginning where you're dealing with her. I just felt like it was kind of not easy or whatever like that, but it was pretty straightforward what you need to do. There's no mystery to it. So obviously you want to avoid her, which is pretty terrifying because she just walks around with the claws and they're long as hell. And she just swoops in.
I do like how on the map it tells you whether or not you found everything based on the color of the room, which that is really helpful to decide, okay, like if you're stuck, well, it's going to be pretty obvious. You need to go to these rooms and basically find everything, whether it's a crystal that falls from the ceiling or something like that. So, my
favorite part in that game is, I think, when you get to the factory. I think that was the best part for me.
We won't do any spoilers because I haven't finished it yet. That's okay.
I had no idea.
That's okay. But also other people, it's fairly new too. But there's definitely different sections of the village to go to. I always call her Lady. Is it Lady or Mistress D or whatever her name is?
Lady Demetrius.
She's the first section of the village. Well,
the first one where the gameplay actually really starts.
Yeah. Where you're kind of trapped in there to try to figure out. Beautiful game though. I will say. It definitely looks next gen. It looks beautiful on the PS5. So I'm sure it looked good on the PC.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Some of you guys may or may not know, Rainbow Islands is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, okay.
And I got Rainbow Islands on NES in box. I just had to get it, but I was really looking for the PAL version, which is pretty different, made by a different publisher.
Oh, okay.
This one's made by Ocean, and this one looks better, but it doesn't play as good as this one. But I had to get them because I love these games.
Different games.
They're different.
Just publishing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're very different. But this one is like the better version though. But this one's like kind of like.
I like that cover though. It's cool.
Yeah, and it gives the game its original title. It's actually Bobble 2. But
okay, that makes sense.
Changed it.
Ocean was a publisher that I grew up a lot because they put out a lot of Commodore 64 games.
Were they good games?
Some, not all.
But I just love this series, and I had to get it in box and everything like that because it's not like you're gonna get like a new Rainbow Islands type
Especially
game.
if it's one of your favorite
Yeah.
franchises, for sure.
But definitely one of the ones I wanted.
Okay, cool. All right, next up for me, I'm going to go with, I think, this. So,
wow.
This is the Astra City mini arcade mini console thingy majig bobby. So, the story with this is that they originally put these out in Japan, and it was, I think, for a long time going to be a Japanese exclusive until Limited Run came along and did, I think, 3,000 of them for the North American market. Now, it's my understanding, I could be wrong, that the only difference between this and the Japanese version is the packaging. So this packaging obviously is all in English, where if you were to buy the Japanese version, obviously it'd be Japanese. There is also a Korean version of it as well, and maybe other markets, but yeah, it's a pretty cool little mini console.
It has Golden Axe Revenge of Death adder on it.
Yep.
So that is already a reason to have one of these. That's the official release finally.
Yeah, we had a little get together at our house a couple weeks ago, and I had this sitting up on the bar, just plugged in and ready to go. And that's the game that I actually had loaded up on it.
Yeah.
It's cool because it's got 37 games, so a ton of games on here. The buttons feel really good on it. It has HDMI out.
So all in all, it feels pretty authentic then, like something that...
to be honest, I didn't grow up playing these type of
Well, just like with the buttons and the joystick, how everything moves.
Yes, yeah. Actually, GameSack did a really good review of this when it first came out, and Joe reviewed every single game, all 37 of them in his video. So
he went in.
He totally did. So good video. I'll link to it down below. So definitely check that out. But yeah, this is pretty cool to have. I was glad that Limited Run brought it here.
Right on. All right. So you like hockey?
I'm glad that you brought this up. I might be in my stack too.
Super Blood Hockey for the Switch. Also available for PS4 as download. Is a definite throwback to old arcade hockey games. Obviously, I'm going to Blades of Steel, but this is like Blades of Steel, just amps it up. Like, it's brutal.
For me, the reason why I wanted a copy of this is because Seattle now has a hockey team, the Kraken. So hockey's getting huge here. Actually, my buddy Drunken Master Paul, he's a huge hockey fan. He's very excited. So that's why I have my copy as well. Is that I think when he comes over,
you're right. It's funny because when characters get into fights in the hockey and everything like that, they'll get into a brawl, and then one character will get tore up, and he'll be like, you won't be able to access him, so your team will be down one character. He'll be on the ground like suffering, like twitching and everything. It shows all that, and it's insane. It's like blood on the ground. It's like hilarious, but really good game. Has really good chiptune music. Definitely that will suck you in. This is a really good release by Premium Edition Games. I'm happy they put this out.
Yeah, I love that cover too. It looks almost like a horror game, but then it's hockey. Yeah, I've heard good things too about the campaign mode. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard that it's got like a full management mode and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Definitely.
All right.
Okay, well, moving on to the Switch, I walked into a GameStop and picked up this game. It is so weird.
That's at GameStop?
Yeah, GameStop. So, No Straight Roads. This is a rhythm game at its heart. You play as this band, this two-person band. I think she's a guitarist and singer, and he's the drummer. But it's unlike any other rhythm game I've ever played because it's also part platforming beat 'em up. Like, you basically are jumping and beating up the enemy to the music. So their movements are set to music, and then you are trying to fire back at them. It's so weird. It's so... I wanted to talk about it because it was really cheap, and it seems so kind of left field. I was kind of curious to see what other people think about it, so played a couple levels, capturing the footage here, and again, you'll when you see the footage, Reggie, you'll be like, doesn't look like any other rhythm game you've seen before.
And the publisher that put it out, Sold Out Games. Wow, it's sold out.
Again, it was at a game. When you go to GameStop, they just have that massive row of Switch games, and I always just kind of look for something that I don't recognize, and I was like, what is that? So it's cool because they're a rock band, so I was drawn to that. So
right on.
Yeah.
All right. More survival horror here. Remothered Broken Porcelain. Now, Jason, I talked to you about this game, what happened with this, and
this is the sequel.
This is the sequel.
Yeah.
Remothered Broken Porcelain, and this game came out so broken. It was horrible. I couldn't believe they put it out.
Broken promises.
Yeah. And I did a video about it and
Yeah.
everything. It's like, it was horrible. But they've been patching the game, and they pretty much did their last patch on it, and it's actually like how it should have been. And judging the game just off the final patch, it's a solid, fun adventure game. I was really impressed with it.
So they got there. Okay.
They finally got there. I just wish that they would have had the patches ready when they did put it visible. You know?
They must. That's the thing that's kind of frustrating, as you guys know, is that these games get printed and sent out, and they know that there's performance problems, but yet
they depend on that day one patch to save them.
Yeah, which sucks.
Doesn't save everybody. So, but anyways, the game is. I would say the first one is better, but this one is a decent sequel as well. I don't know if my first experience with it is kind of messing with my final judgment of it, but still, I like the series. I think it's pretty good. It's inspired by games like Haunting Ground and Clock Towers. So
it's more about hiding.
Hiding, yeah. You don't want to get detected because you can't really fight very well in this game. So yeah, definitely want to hide. But yeah, Remothered, Broken Porcelain. Let us know what you think about this one in the comments.
Okay. Next up for me is a shoot 'em up that is kind of weird and different. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't remember where I heard of this game, but Sisters Royale is a top-down shoot 'em up. The difference is you're not in a plane or anything like that. You are a character, so you're on the ground. Now, the reason why that's important is because the environment affects this game quite a bit. So, for instance, in some levels, there will be ice, and you kind of slide around on the ice, which is really frustrating in a top-down shooter, right? But there's another one too where there's like wind, where wind will be blowing from left or right or up and down, and so your character will be knocked around a little bit. Yeah, so it's different than most shoot 'em ups for sure, and it's very character driven. There's lots of dialogue and stuff like that. But it's a pretty solid one for sure.
Yeah, Alpha Systems did this game. They did the Castle Shishigami games. Those shoot 'em ups.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Oh, same people. They haven't done a game in a long time, which is kind of crazy. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yep. So PS4. So cool.
So Kandagawa Jet Girls.
You told me about this.
Yes. It actually went on sale recently. I like water skiing games. Like you guys have played Splashdown, Wave Race, stuff like that. And we haven't got like any new ones in a long time. So when this was coming out, I was like, dude, this is all we got. I'll take it. It's actually a really fun game. It's got some crazy anime tropes to it, which is hilarious, but the tracks are actually really a lot of fun. You can do a couple of cool stunts here and there, but nothing really else to say about it. I mean, I had a good time with it. This packaging comes with a lot of cool stuff. Comes with a soundtrack, art book, and stuff like that. I'm trying to get my friends to play the game with me, but they
I remember
refuse.
when you were like live streaming this or something like that. People were kind of giving you a little bit of a hard time.
Yeah,
I was watching the comments.
I was like, "Come on, man, this game was fun."
Yeah,
but
that's hilarious.
I'm trying to get my friends because I want to play online with some folks, but the online servers are like pretty vacant because either nobody wants to play this game or they just don't know it exists. So
I should get it. I mean, it didn't get great reviews, but I do like those kind of. I do like water racing games.
Yeah. So definitely check this one out, folks.
Okay. All right, next up for me, on the Switch, this is a super rare release here, Abzu.
I remember you told me about that game.
Yeah, so I've talked about this a couple years ago because I originally played it, I think, on the PlayStation 4, and at the time I was kind of like, meh, you know what I mean? Because it's one of those games where it's more atmosphere, it's sort of walking simulator because in this, obviously, you swim, but it's one of those games where you're just kind of like exploring the environment, and I was capturing the footage yesterday and playing this, and I got to tell you, I was kind of getting what it's all about. Like, I was in the right mood. Like, I was chilling out, and I got sucked back in this game. I think because my expectations were kind of correct, that don't go into this game looking for a bunch of puzzles or even meaning in any really way. You're basically, it's just a chill, relaxed game, and actually, I was enjoying myself quite a bit. The only caveat I would say is that the Switch version is not the best version because it does struggle a little bit. In this game, there's a bunch of fish and things like that, and there are times whenever the frame rate definitely takes a hit.
Right.
But it's cool to have it portable.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to wait, Also, if we do eventually get a Switch Pro, maybe all that'll smooth itself out. Who knows? But
I still look at the Switch as like a portable system. I never really look at it as a console, really.
Although I actually play it more as a console, to be honest.
Do you?
Well, I would say it's about 70% console and 30% handheld. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but like Kelsey, she always plays it portable. Always. I don't think she's even plugged it into her TV yet. But anyways, Abzu is pretty cool. I'm liking this game now. So, but you have to kind of know what you're going into. It's only about an hour and a half long or something like that. It's very short. But if you're in the mood, it's pretty cool.
Definitely. All right. So this next game is funny because my PS3 hard drive went out on me, and I was pretty mad because I had to reformat it pretty much, and basically. I didn't feel like downloading all my games and everything again because I had so many. I was like, dude, this is gonna be horrible.
You had an upgraded hard drive, didn't you?
I upgraded the hard drive to a terabyte so I could fit everything on there.
And that's what died.
Well, actually, it just... I don't know what's up with that hard drive. It's really weird. I had a 500 gig in there originally, and that just died on me. And, luckily, I was able to save some of the stuff, but I had to get a bigger hard drive.
Yeah.
But the bigger hard drive I got on it eventually messed up, too. And I was like, dude, this is it. So... I bought this game as a physical. This is Dungeons & Dragons for the PS3. And basically, I wanted to have a physical of this one because the hard drive goes out again. I just want to have a physical of this game.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of good games I have downloaded, but I just don't... That hard drive thing just really bugs me with the PS3. So physical.
Eventually every hard drive will probably fail. That's the thing, right? So
yeah, so the best thing to do, sucks. I was telling people, try to back your stuff up on some other hard drive just in case, because, the PS3 is a brutal system for the hard drive to die on because it's such a slow system.
Yeah.
It's like mid-2000 technology, pretty much, so.
Going into the PlayStation Store on the PlayStation 3 is painful.
Yeah, those videos, man, I was like, dude, this is going to be insane.
Pushing the button, waiting. Pushing the button, waiting.
And hoping it doesn't kick you out or freeze. So
yeah,
definitely. But anyway, Dungeons & Dragons, based off the Capcom game that was in arcades. It's on the Saturn as well. This version is actually really cool because it's made by a different company. The one that was on the PS3 as a download was made by, I think, Backbone Entertainment, I think they're called. But that version only goes into 720p. This version goes to 1080p, which is pretty cool. So definitely, I think this is the better version of the game, and obviously different extras on each one. But if you're able to get a physical copy of this game, I definitely think you should. It's worthy of having a physical copy because this game is awesome, and it inspired a lot of games like you guys see today, like the Dragon's Crown and a couple others I can't think of right now. But yeah, this game is awesome. Definitely check it out.
Okay, cool. All right, next up for me is another Switch game, Inmost. Have you played this?
No, I've seen it though.
You'd be curious to know what you think about this. So this is a horror adventure game, and it's pretty cool. It's got the pixel graphics, and I don't want to spoil too much of it, but basically, you play different characters in this, kind of going through the story. It plays just like a traditional adventure game where you're trying to unlock doors or solve puzzles, things like that, battle enemies. And what I like about it is that for the most part, it seems like it's pretty logical in the puzzles. You don't have to necessarily go to a walkthrough too often. So that's always a key for me, is that if I get really stuck right off the bat, that's really annoying. This game I was enjoying from the get-go. So I haven't finished it yet, but I'm liking it way more than I thought I would.
Okay, I like the cover of it too.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's really creepy. It's again, it's not survival horror. It's definitely more of an adventure game, but it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, so next game here is a game that got ported to the Dreamcast. This was on the arcade board, Thomas Wave, and this is Dolphin Blue.
You've been playing this too, I saw.
Dolphin Blue is a running gun game, and oh my god, I've been wanting to play this game for years. It came out back in 2003, and there was no way, I don't know if there was a way to emulate it back then, I just didn't know how. But I always wanted to play it, and finally someone decided to port it to the Dreamcast, and it plays really well. There are some load times between levels that are kind of long, but not really anything that's going to break, like make you want to stop playing it. It's a lot of fun, and it's definitely a running gun game that I'm trying to get better at, because a lot of people feel like running gun games they get boring, whatever like that. But try to play these games without getting killed or getting hit, and then that's where the real fun starts. So yeah, definitely try that one out, man. Well, actually, that copy's for you. So.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
you can try it out.
Okay.
Turn on that Dreamcast. You got it.
Well, that's cool. Actually, because I watched your Let's Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, because you said Dolphin Blue, and I was like, I don't know what this is. But then I was watching your gameplay. I was like, oh wow, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah, and it came out back in the early 2000s, so it was like, wow,
Oh, well, thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's from my buddy Kyle, man. So that was for you.
Oh, yay!
There you go.
More stuff for me. All right. Next up, I'm going to go to the PS4. a game that a lot of people told me to get, Dreams. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
But don't know too much about the gameplay.
That's because it is a lot of things. So Dreams is kind of like Little Big Planet, where it's got the creation part of it. But this game is all creation. So essentially what it is, when you first fire it up, it kind of has a couple tutorials on how to create your own games or experiences, because you don't necessarily have to create a game. Like, for instance, people have created music videos and art pieces and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's all about going in there and seeing what other people have created, and you can do a lot with this. So this is not something that necessarily I'm going to spend a lot of time learning to create my ultimate game, just because I just don't have the time. But instead, you can enjoy what other people have done, and people are very skilled with this. So, for instance, I was playing 2 different kind of racing games. One of them was like a rally racing game. Another one was like an F-Zero style racing game. There's platforming games in there. There's shoot 'em ups. There's every type of game in there, and they're all really varied. There's also, like, I was playing a kind of like a hack and slash third person game. So a lot of variety in this thing. It seems like a very powerful program. So this would be something that I think if you are a parent with a young kid who's like, I want to make video games when I grow up, get them Dreams. Like, because they don't necessarily have to know how to program, and they can create something. So it's pretty cool.
Right on, man. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, this game just came out. This is Wonder Boy, Asha, and Monster World. It's called Monster World 4, but I guess they changed the name up a little bit, so I have to make sure I was saying it right. So if you haven't played these games, the Wonder Boy games before, they are platform games, adventure platform games with kind of like RPG elements to them. This one reminds me of kind of like Zelda Adventures of Link in a way. Very colorful, very good looking game.
So is this a remake of it?
It is a remake of the original Genesis game. Sorry if I said earlier. And it's a well done one. You know, I was surprised. And also, when you buy this game, it actually comes with the original game as well. Oh, yeah. Now, here's the weird thing, though. The PS4 version has a download code for the original game that comes with it, but the Switch game has the game embedded on the disc.
Which is really dumb, because you can fit a lot of stuff on a Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. So it's really weird they did that. But hey, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm playing it for the new game. So
yeah. Well, I remember years ago, whenever you showed me, I think it was like a reproduction or something like that of the Genesis version
in English.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a really good game. So I didn't know.
That's the one that's on here as an extra. So
wow, I'm gonna have to pick that up. That's cool. All right, next up for me, another Switch game. Everyone was telling me to play this, Hades. Have you played this yet?
I have.
Dude, this game is cool. So it's a roguelike adventure game where the levels are procedurally generated. However, the hub world where you're at is filled with a bunch of characters that you interact with, I guess from Greek mythology or whatever. And so that's what I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what kind of makes this game a little bit different, is that, yes, it's roguelike, but it also has a very strong sense of, I guess, story, but at least character development for sure. Because every time you go back and you die, you'll have other characters to talk to. They'll make fun of you because you're sucking or you died from spikes or something like that. But you're constantly sort of like in this progression loop where you're improving your character, their weapons, things like that. So
very cool, man. And it's cool. It's an isometric game too. So.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's by Super Giant, which I believe they also made one of my favorite games, which is Bastion. I love that game.
Bastion, I remember that game. Did it ever get a physical release?
Yes. I think there is a PS4.
Probably on Xbox, right? No, PS4? Maybe?
I think there is a PS4. It might have been limited run. I don't remember. But
you guys let us know in the comments.
Yeah, but that was the one where you go around and it has the narrator that narrates every single thing that you do. Yeah, it's really cool.
All right. Oh, man. As I say,
we're getting there.
Yeah, I got 5 more. Okay. So, survival horror again. Big surprise. The Coma Double Cut. So basically, this is the Coma 1 and the Coma Part 2, or for the Switch. The games are in English. Now, these are survival horror games. They're side views, so they're kind of like, they look, I don't want to say they look like a cartoon, but it's played from a side-scrolling perspective. And these games are scary. The second game is one of the scariest games I've ever played, because it tripped me out. Like, it's hard to scare me.
Really?
Yeah, it got me a couple times. I was like, dude, there's a stalker chasing you, and it's like your teacher. Like she's a pretty sexy looking woman and everything like that. But as you play the game, she starts getting worse looking, and like it's like really messed up. Now that's the first game. The second game, there's another stalker, and there's actually a couple of them, and they are brutal. And the death scenes in this game are pretty crazy because they show when it shows a game over screen, depending on where you get killed at, it'll show like a different way that you got killed, and it's crazy. And it's just the jump scares are like. I don't want to say it's jump scares, but if you're like, they're actually walking around looking for you. So you could be in a classroom and you can't leave the classroom because you hear footsteps outside. If you go out there, they'll be waiting on you. They chase you. The stamina meter is another thing because you run out of stamina, you get tired. They don't get tired, so you have to be very careful. But this game is a lot of fun. And it's a shame because I don't think a lot of people know about it. This is definitely something you want to check out on the Switch or the PS4 if you want to download it. But I love this game. This is definitely one of my top horror games.
I think you've talked about the Coma before.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but I didn't realize that they put out both of them.
Was
this like a GameStop thing? Is this put
in
retail?
No. The original. I got the original PS4 version from East Asia Soft, Play Asia. Then they brought the game out to the Switch, which it was on Amazon for a while. I don't know if it's still on there, but they never sold it in like retail stores. It was just like an Amazon exclusive. Now this one was an English Japanese exclusive. So this was sold on Play Asia, and I believe I bought this off Macari. Somebody was selling it on Macari, that website.
Oh, okay.
So I just bought it off him. But yeah, it's
cool. All right, next up for me, 2 games here that I just want to kind of show. So Shakedown Hawaii on the Wii and the Wii U. Now, full disclosure, these were sent to me by the publisher, but what I find really interesting about these is I believe these, at least this one, is the last Wii U release, physical release ever. Okay. And it comes with its own case and everything like that. So I haven't opened these up because I'm kind of like, from a collecting standpoint, like,
Well, I think the games you could play them on other systems pretty easy, so yeah.
I'm pretty sure I could get it on the Wii or the Switch and play it, but just really late release games. So this game here is the follow up to Retro City Rampage, right? Yeah, which is really cool, kind of parody homage to those early Grand Theft Auto games where they were top down, but they are making fun of a lot of like pop culture and stuff like that. Just crazy releases here. Now, thankfully, these games really aren't that expensive. To be honest, it's like you would think for sort of like being at the end of the release, you would think there'd be hundreds of dollars, but it seems like they had enough printed of these to get them into the hands of everybody.
Right.
But it's pretty cool to have in my collection. So I just want to say thank you to the publisher for that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. All right. Next game here, 2 games. La-Mulana for part 1 and 2, the Hidden Treasures edition. This is the PS4 version, also available on the 360, Xbox One and the Switch.
I think I have it on the Vita. One of them.
Yeah, the Vita one, that's the first one. So when they put out part 2, they decided to bundle them together. Okay. And these games remind me of an old school PC game I used to play called Pharaoh's Tomb. A lot of people won't know what that is, but it was on my IBM computer, and I loved that game. So that's one of the reasons I picked these games up. Now it's an adventure game, kind of like what people would call Metroidvania, I would say, but it's tough. You got to really pay attention to your surroundings because there's traps. You will get killed and a lot, so you got to be very careful in this game and read the notes and listen to the villagers of what they say about certain places because you need those clues that kind of survive this adventure. I like the second one a lot more than the first one. I just feel like this has more polish, but these are really good games if you like adventure type games. So definitely check this one out. Have you played the first one on the Vita?
On the Vita, yes.
What do you think of the experience?
Your description of it being kind of PC-like is very true because it reminded me of that a lot. Where I can't really put my finger on what it is, but there is something about some of those games that had a PC feel to it. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, a very cool series for sure.
Definitely.
All right, next up for me, another Switch game. The last Switch game here I'll talk about. I don't know how to pronounce this. Vasara?
Vasara,
yeah. So it's a collection here. It's basically, these are Japanese shoot-em-ups, vertical shoot-em-ups, which are my favorites. Again, it's just a collection of them, but it's one of those where I do like having these kind of collections, even though you can sometimes get them cheaper digitally, but it's cool to have the physical ones here. Just, again, really solid, fun Japanese shoot 'em ups. So cool that this got a physical release. Actually, I have My collection of physical shoot 'em ups on the Switch is getting crazy because there was all those Psycho collections that came out that I was buying off of Play Asia for a while, and it's pretty cool to see. So I'm excited for it.
Right on.
Yep.
All right, man, last three.
I have 2 left.
Let's see. This is Fate Unlimited Code. This is a 2D fighting game for the PS2. It was also available for the PSP in America, but only as a digital download.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to have a physical version of that game because I think it's a pretty good fighting game, and I like the Fate Stay anime series. And what's cool about this edition that it comes with an action figure as well as the game. So I mean, the packaging for a lot of import stuff is amazing. You would never see anything like that in America usually.
Oh, I know. Did you get this at Smash, or where'd you get this?
I got this off a good deal off eBay, actually.
Really? Because it's like perfect condition.
Yeah, it's pretty
looks
cool.
like it's brand new.
And everything. So definitely, you can just tell like the packaging for old school stuff.
Oh yeah,
they went all out for it. You know, today's collector's editions aren't really. I don't.
Well, it's the same old stuff. I mean, no offense to people who are putting it out, but it's like they'll have an art book, you know, the soundtrack, and maybe a sticker, which is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, but this is something different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's a decent fighting game actually too, guys. So definitely, I would say it's not like
it's using renderware. So is
renderware is awesome.
Is it 3D, kind of like a two? Okay.
Yeah. And renderware, when I think of them, I always think about Airblade. You remember that game? That's one of my favorite games that they use that.
Didn't the first Burnout games use it, right?
Yeah.
It was a pretty versatile engine.
But definitely a decent fighting game that people will like, especially if they like the series of Fate Stay Night. So
I just have I have 2 more things. Okay. This next one is awesome. Carpet Shark on the original NES. So this is awesome. So basically, it's my understanding. So this was sent to me by a film director / game developer. So what they did was they made an independent short film called Carpet Shark, and I think they kind of shot it and made it in their own like living room. And then as a lark, they were like, well, since we're kind of making this cheesy 80s horror film, let's make the game. And that's what they did. So this is an NES game, plays on a real NES.
That's hilarious, man.
It is so funny. I know, it's so hilarious. And it's a simple game. It's not going to, change the world or anything, but the fact that it comes on a physical cartridge, it comes with the clamshell, you can tell it was a labor of love. So
it's still like amazing. They still make games for old systems to this day. It's like, wow. Like, seriously. Yeah,
it's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's a very silly, simple game, but it does have boss battles, and it's got some challenge, so yeah, definitely check that out.
Okay. You know what? I'll show this one. So this is kind of like my holy grail item when it comes to the King of Fighters items.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is the King of Fighters Game Boy Advance. This comes with Neoblood, and I've been looking for this for years. Jason, I was actually looking for this when we first met years ago, and I saw it, but I was too cheap. I was like, nah, I'll wait till it becomes cheaper.
Well, back then you're like, $30 or whatever. It's like, no, that's ridiculous.
And then it just became like hard to find.
Yeah.
I got lucky and found this one and got a pretty good deal on it. But it was the last thing I wanted for the King of Fighters collection, and I'm just happy to have it because this is like one of my favorite fighting games of all time.
So does it have a Game Boy Advance in there?
So there's a Game Boy Advance in here with the King of Fighters logo on it. It comes with the game, so it's just like a little package.
Yeah.
This is kind of like an early Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
Back in the, like one of the first fighting games on the Game Boy Advance when it came out years ago. But we never got this in America, and it was just hard to find this because you didn't know the type. I thought I was typing the right stuff to look it up. It would never pop up, and then I just found it randomly, and I had to hop on it. So
it's a beautiful condition too.
Yeah, it's almost like it's never been touched.
Yeah, it does.
So, now, it's going as far as the gameplay. The gameplay is solid, but the sound is kind of off in this game, so you might want to like turn the volume down because the sound is kind of off. Game Boy Advance games early in the cycle had like a weird sound effect that they didn't. I guess the developers didn't know how to really use the sound chip or whatever to make the game sound good, but it can sound pretty airy. So, but still a solid game though.
Yeah, that's
check
cool.
it out.
All right, my final thing, my holy grail. Speaking of Game Boy Advance, is a Metal Jesus Rocks edition of the GBA Consolizer.
Wow, dude.
So, do you know what the GBA Consolizer is?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, so what it is that they take donor GBAs that are damaged beyond repair usually. So a lot of times they have a screen or something about them. Maybe they're rusty or something like that. But they basically they take donor ones, and then they add on the ability to do HDMI out and also have a proper controller in the front. So the output on this is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now, I did a review on it maybe about a year and a half ago or so, and had to send the review unit back, which sometimes that happens, which is cool. But I've been missing it ever since because if you want to play Game Boy Advance games, there are other systems out there that will. Like you mentioned, the Hyperkin SQ, which now does GBA stuff fairly decent.
Right on, finally, okay.
This is best because there is no... it is a real GBA.
Right.
They're just tapping into it and outputting the HDMI.
So basically, if you want to get one of these made, you want to have donor parts for them to use to make it for you?
That's a good question. So first of all, this was donated to me as a thank you from Game Tech USA. So they printed up this 3D printed case and stuff like that. Because one of the feedbacks I think that they got is that initially they looked a little homemade-ish, you know what I mean? A little... And so they started doing these special edition cases and stuff like that. But anyways, to answer your question, I believe you can buy kits on there that will... I believe they give you options.
Okay.
So I unfortunately I don't know the answer to that right now. But for instance, these can be kind of expensive. But if you want to go, if you've got some soldering skills or you got some skills, or maybe you already have a GBA. They may have solutions to that. So I'll put a link down in the video description below so if people want to find out more about it. But it is completely legit. Like it's awesome.
Right on, man.
Yeah. And to have my own is kind of cool.
Right on, brother.
And they did, I had no idea that they were going to do this. So that was pretty neat. So it's going to be one of my favorite things.
Well, I guess it's time for my final item. I think I saved the best for last.
All right.
I've had this for a long time, and I haven't really shown anybody. I showed you a while ago, but I think you forgot what it was.
We never did on the video or something.
No.
Okay.
But this is the F.E.A.R 3 Collector's Edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you telling about this? This is wild. I had no idea they did
It's a trip, right? Can you imagine if they tried to sell that in America?
So... First of all, F.E.A.R 3 actually is a pretty cool game.
It is. And definitely if you play it like co-op too, amazing.
So she's like it's been so long since I played it though, but it's probably since it first came out. I remember, is she the chick that kind of...
The little girl.
Yeah, that kind of blinks on and off, and then it looks like she's pregnant with some sort of demon or something, or what?
Yeah, the cliffhanger at the end of the second game, kind of like explains why she's like the way she is now. But it actually glows in the dark, which is hilarious. And
we'll be showing that on camera. That's so
and
cool.
freaking it's just I just think it's just really cool. F.E.A.R 3 is one of my favorite F.E.A.R games, even though I don't think it's the best one. I think
wasn't the third one where you go into the Mac 2 every once in a while, like you start blowing stuff up into, like it's mostly a first person shooter. I remember it's either the second or the third one, where just every once in a while you'd be in like this big hulking mech blowing away dudes.
I think that was mostly the second one.
Okay.
The second one was insane. Especially that part where you get to school. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Woo! But definitely something cool. Comes with a comic book, steel case, obviously. And I love the F.E.A.R series. I would love for them to make another one, but they kind of I think they kind of concluded it with this one. So I wanted to go all out for it. Definitely something pretty cool to have.
That would be... when you talk about games that you wouldn't mind getting like HD remastered, for modern consoles or something like that, the F.E.A.R series is one of those. It would be cool to go back and replay. With new HD textures and stuff like that. Because I remember, I think I played it on the 360 or the PS3. I forget which one, but I remember it having some performance issues. Like it had some slowdown.
The PS3 definitely had performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that type of stuff goes away when they port a lot of these to like the PS5 and the Xbox One, or Xbox Series X. So, wow. And it's PEGI 18, so this is not released in the US probably.
Not the collector's edition. The game was.
Yeah, sure.
But another thing about F.E.A.R 3, just want to throw this in there. There's a multiplayer mode in there called F and Run.
Okay.
And basically, you guys, John Carpenter, obviously, some of you guys are familiar with his films like The Fog and everything like that.
Oh, sure.
Well, he kind of like did some inspiration for this game. He worked on the game a little bit too. And this mode is called F and Run, where pretty much you can have up to 4 friends team up with you, and you have to like run and kill soldiers in front of you, obviously. But the thing is, while you're running, it's because there's a fog chasing you. And it's a fog of souls. It is so eerie and scary when that thing is chasing you, man. It's like, it's so tense. And I'm trying to get my buddies Joel and John to play with me, but they're too scared to play it. And they said, "No, we can't do it, Reggie." Yeah, so they're gonna get mad at me.
He loves it. Yeah, you called him out on this.
But it's really tense, and it's a lot of fun, and it's just a really fun mode that a lot of people don't know it exists or haven't played on the system.
I did not know.
I kind of talked about it when we were doing like the PlayStation videos about the network and everything, letting everybody know about this game. Definitely got to play it. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully I get some more people online playing it, because I love that mode.
Wow, that's crazy. Dude, another pickups video in the bank.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we're back, so.
Yeah, and actually, another one, you're not going to have to wait too long for the next one, because we're going to shoot that one sooner than you expect. So.
Yep.
Dude, it's so awesome to have you in the game. Was it weird walking in here?
Dude, it's like, it felt like it was like, not like a time capsule, but it felt like it was a while. Like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's nice to have the feeling that the world's starting to kind of come back.
Yeah,
definitely. You know what I mean? So, dude, thanks so much for being on here. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Radical Reggie, on that, just Radical Reggie, Media Glitch, all that good stuff. Find me on those channels.
Yeah,
so.
Awesome. All right, thanks guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and take care.